everybody. It is Sunday today. The sun is finally shining here in Ghent, Belgium. I'm standing in front of the Larian Studios offices in front of a bridge because Thomas, our cameraman, decided that we were going to do something with the bridge to the next stretch goals. And indeed, I'm going to be talking about stretch goals today. I'll give you a little bit more insight into what we mean when we're talking about NPC schedules, what we mean when we talk about making our companions interesting, and obviously also what we mean when we talk about personality traits and talents. So enjoy, and if you have any questions afterwards, actually on Tuesday at 7 o'clock GMT +1, we're going to start an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. It's going to be the first time that we do this. I have absolutely no clue what I'm supposed to do, but I'm sure Thomas will introduce me to the wonders of Reddit by then. Alright, enjoy the update. Bye bye. Our highest stretch goal is the NPC schedule stretch goal. Now you may wonder why we put it so high, but it's because it's really a lot of work. You're looking now at a bunch of soldiers who are living outside of Sicile in the game world of Divinity Original Sin. And while they might seem very active and it looks like they're doing all kinds of things, actually they're just repeating the same thing over and over. Now that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of RPGs that do it and you will have a lot of fun just interacting with all these guys. But it would be a lot cooler if these guys would actually, after they finished exercising here, go back to the barracks and then maybe go to the tavern to eat and then go to sleep, because it would allow for much more immersion gameplay to happen in the game. So let's jump to Scarlet, for instance. She's on the market here. So this would be in a world where we reach that stretch goal. This would be 12 o'clock at noon, or maybe, well, let's say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. People are selling their wares, they're going to buy stuff. And when the evening sets, some of them might start cleaning up their market stands, while others might actually go to the tavern. And so let's go to the tavern. And then we would see people arrive here in the tavern and they would go for a drink, get some food. Maybe some of them would get drunk, get thrown out of the tavern, while others would go to sleep. And that would be a very, very, very cool stretch goal to reach. But it's a lot of work, because essentially what we would be making is like multiple versions of the world, and we would have to do all the transitions in between those states of the world. Then a little bit lower we have the other stretch goal, which is the companion stretch goal, and this is about these guys. Here we have Alfred, for instance. He has the most stupid dialogue in the world ever right now. Now obviously we're not going to leave it like that. Even if we don't meet the companion stretch goal, we are going to give this guy a little bit more background than just like hello and you can hire me and I am a henchman. But what we would like to do, I'm taking control of him now, is to actually give this guy a full-blown background filled with choice and consequence, with his own quests, and like this we would like to have multiple companions in the game. So far we implemented an entire system in the game that our players can talk to animals, and they have things to say, and they actually even have quests associated with them. But if we make the personality traits and talent stretch goal, then we're going to make talking to animals actually a talent, and it's going to be one of those talents which is not just a gimmick, but actually has quite a lot of impact in the game. Yes, well, I had to do that because that was the birth of the weir sheep. So every time I pass by here, I kill my sheep. Another example of a talent would be something we call slippery eel. Here's a skeleton, he's attacking me, he's level 3, I'm level 1. If I try to evade now, he's going to do an attack of opportunity on me, and that might very well actually kill me. So I'm going to run away. Now, if I would have had my slippery eel talent, then that attack of opportunity would have had a lower chance of happening, and I would have actually been able of successfully evading that skeleton. Another example that could be included in the traits and talents system would be controlling undead. There's going to be a number of necromantic skills, and if I would have the necromantic prodigy talent, then I would have a higher chance of my necromantic skills succeeding, and maybe I could actually turn this skeleton to help me to fight one of his friends. Jumping to traits then, personality traits are something that you're going to choose at the beginning of the game. So you could say, well, I'm going to be an ambitious character, or I might be a trustful character. And this is going to have an impact on how you're going to be able to play the game. For instance, if you would be a curious character, then you would have the higher chance of discovering secrets in here. In this particular case, looks like we have a carpet. And look at that, underneath there is a locked hatch. Now, if I would have had the lockpick talent, then I would have had a higher chance of actually managing to lockpick that hatch. Obviously, I would also need a lockpick. Other examples of traits would be, I could, for instance, become a suspicious character. So if I would be suspicious, then I would have a higher chance of evading things like backstabbing. If I would be a very aware character, then I would have a higher chance of knowing that I was going to enter in this combat zone. I would have had a warning. If I would have been a mean character, then I would be more intimidating and I would actually be able to instill fear on creatures. Now, I doubt that I would be able to instill fear on the skeleton here, but it might be something that helps in several combat situations. Now, there's of course also the intimidate that you can do in dialogues, and that is also something that would be affected by that mean factor. Now here I died obviously, so that wasn't that very good. I'm going to give you one last example of how the trait system is going to work, but I guess that you understand what I mean. To give a final example of personality traits, there's one thing that we are planning on doing that's going to be pretty cool. So while at startup of the game you can customize your character, and you can decide which traits he's going to have. You will also have to behave accordingly. So for instance, if I say that I'm like a very open-minded person and I have a lot of respect for everybody and I have a lot of empathy, and then I start like making all kinds of judgment calls and I am, for instance, extremely contemptible, then the game is not going to buy it anymore that I am actually a very empathic person, and it's going to adjust my personality traits during gameplay. So for instance, in this particular case, this is a quest which I spoiled already in a previous update, so I don't mind doing it again. This guy killed an entire crew on a ship because he was in love with a girl and she refused him. So our two characters can have a discussion about that, and if I say well, this guy, he should go to hell, I don't have any understanding for it. And Scarlet, on the other hand, says, well, you know, he did something evil, but I mean, who has never been in desperation because you lost a loved one? So her compassion would go up, whereas my contempt would go up. And if I would have had a compassionate character or an empathic character, then the fact that I said the opposite might, in fact, change my personality traits. So your traits would change throughout the game, and the gameplay impact of your particular traits would then also obviously be modified. So I think that's going to be pretty cool if we reach that stretch goal, which I hope that we will.